Hey guys, before we get started today, don't forget to hit that subscribe and like button so you get notified the next time I load a video. Are you ready to get started?
We're going to get started. So today we're doing a HIIT style. So we're going to take each exercise as its own circuit. We have 6 exercises today. So we're going to do each exercise for 40 seconds, rest for 10, and then repeat 2 more times. And then we're going to switch to the next exercise. So the first exercise, a couple different variations that you can do. I'll show you the first one. You're going to start on the floor with your hands over your head. Squeeze into the bum, pull into those hips, and you're going to drive your knees into your chest as you come into sitting. So you're just going to come right up. You can take those hands to the floor for a little bit of support, and then roll yourself back down, and then come right up. The modification to this is to take those hands behind, and you can just drive your knees in as you stay seated, or you can even do a single leg, squeezing into those glutes, pulling into that core. So those are your 3 options for this first circuit. Let's get started with our first 40 seconds in 3, 2, go for it right here. Squeeze into those glutes. Really think about tightening up through the bum, pushing right into that core so that belly button's just shifting right to your spine. And any variation that you're doing, you're going to keep that chin off your chest so that we're really just engaging that torso rather than our upper body. And don't be afraid if you're coming from the floor. Use those hands for some momentum. Pull right into that belly button. Good. If you're using the floor and you're pulling in, you're scooping out that core without changing that back position. In 3, 2, relax here. All right, so the next one we're going to do is we're going to do a little crunch. And this is going to work the upper part of our abdominals. Now you can add a dumbbell into here if you have one. You can have any object if you want, or you can just add no weight. So you can just be reaching up with your hands. So what we want to do is take our feet flat to the floor, take our hips, pull them into our pelvis so that lower back is completely glued. That belly button sinks into the spine. And we're going to just lift those shoulders off the floor, reaching up with those hands, or if you're using a dumbbell, pushing from your chest and then pulling up. And again, we're going to keep that chin well off our chest, just using the abdominal muscles. Here we go for 40 seconds in 3, 2, go for it right here. So through this entire exercise, our lower back is still glued to that mat. So you're really just taking a little pulse from those shoulders, pulling into those belly buttons, squeezing the glutes. And the more you squeeze into those glutes, the more you pull into that core, the less you're going to feel this through that upper body neck area. If you're feeling it through that upper body neck and you're using a dumbbell, I would suggest taking the dumbbell away. And if you're really feeling it, then instead of reaching up, you can reach through your legs if your neck is really bothering you. In 3, 2, rest it here. Actually going to move to our feet for this one. So again, if you have a weight or 2 weights, if you want to incorporate it, then you're more than welcome to. If you don't have weights, the movement doesn't change. The weights just add a little extra intensity. And what we're going to do is we're going to be doing some slams or swings. So if you have the 2 weights, we're going to do a little squat, not a full squat, coming down, and then we're going to swing up, pulling into our belly button and our hips, squeeze in, leaving those legs slightly flexed, and then pulling into that core as we pull those weights or hands up. If you're not using weights, it's literally just bringing those hands back up and down with a little less added intensity, but you're still going to contract into that core. So every time your hands come up, that belly button pulls through the back of that spine. Here we go for 3 sets. In 3, 2, go for it right here. Remember, try not to lock those knees, so they're always going to have some type of flexion in them. Really squeeze into the bum, pull into that core, and you're going to really use that core to bring those hands up and down. The weights add that extra intensity, but you certainly don't have to include them. 10 seconds here. In 5, 3, 2, and resting. We're going to come into a side plank. And again, many different variations on how you can do this. We want to be a low plank for this though. So our shoulder and elbow is nice and aligned, and our knee and hips are nice and aligned. So you can do this from a knee plank with your top leg directly over top of that bottom leg, and you come up on your knee. We're going to start with our hips just grazing the mat here and arm extended. And then we're going to pull that hip up, bring that arm in, and then dip that hip, bring that arm in. You can do this, as I said, from your knee plank. You can do this from a side plank. You can actually even do this from the wall. So hip down and in, squeezing that glute, just rocking, drawing that straight line. Or you can do this from an incline, from a couch position. All right, so let's start. Here we go. In 3, 2, go for it. Reach nice and long. We want to elongate that torso with that reach, and then shorten as we drive that hip up. Drive the elbow down to the hip. You want to make sure that arm is nicely aligned underneath that shoulder. Thumb is nice and tight, so we're not overloading the shoulder. We want to put everything right into that core. We got 10 seconds here. Just nice, even dips. Keeping that thumb nice and tight. In 3, 2, and rest it here. We are switching to that opposite side, setting yourself up, fixing the hair. Elbow and shoulder nice and aligned. Set that knee up with that hip nice and aligned. Remember your variations. You could be on the wall, you could be on your knee, you could be full side plank. Here we go, 40 seconds to start. In 3, 2, drive it together. So really pump that dip up. Hips come up to meet that elbow. Squeeze into the glutes. Make sure you're nice and supported through that shoulder. And we're not overloading that shoulder because we're squeezing our bum. We're pulling into that core. Almost there. We got 10 seconds. In 5, 3, 2, and we're resting. We got one more circuit with these exercises, and we're going to come to our back for the next one. All right, so just as we did kind of that full sit-up to start with, we're going to end with it, but we're going to add a little component onto it. So we're starting down. Our feet this time are going to be flat to the floor, so we're not driving those knees in. We're going to use that feet to plant us. We're going to come all the way up, and as we come up, you're going to take one hand back, opposite hand, opposite toe, toe touch. And then come all the way down, rolling back through that lower back, come up to the other side, toe touch. Now the modification to this is to come up, and you can do a knee to knee or hand to toe without actually coming into that crab touch. All right, here we go. In 3, 2, go for it right here. So really think about the coordination as you do this, whether you're coming into the crab or you're going to sit in and just drive the knee forward with that toe touch. When you come back down to the mat, you're going to roll through that lower back. So that lower back hits the mat first. So it's a power up, and then it's a controlled back. Breathing in. Almost done that first circuit in 3, 2, and we're going to rest it right here.
I hope you enjoyed that very sweaty workout. I know I did. Don't forget to hit that subscribe and like button so you get notified the next time I load a video. And visit me at www.fitnessbylight.com.